Okay, in a previous video I showed how to trim a lid to a jar, and I have two other types of lids that I want to trim, and so I'll do that now. I've already trimmed the feet on the bodies here, so if you need to see that, just refer to the videos that I have for trimming vases. So this pot's leather hard, and this is a capped lid. It just goes on like that. This part is vertical enough that it prevents the lid from sliding off. All right. And let's see, I am taking note of the shape of the inside here, because that's going to affect the shape of the exterior. Let's see. And this is like trimming a bowl. I'm going to use really thin coils here. And I'm doing that because I may want to trim quite far down the side, and so the bits of clay that are keeping the pot in place won't be in the way. All right. Okay, so this lid is narrow enough where I can just grab the lid with my hand like that to take the lid off and put the lid back on the jar. So a knob isn't necessary. But if you would like, you can score, slip, and add a little ball of clay and fashion that into a knob, or it could have been a separate knob that was thrown. Once it's loaded hard, this is trimmed, you can score and slip to attach. Or like I'm doing here, I'm just attaching a fresh piece of clay, scoring and slipping. This technique of throwing off of a leather hard piece, I mean, that can be used for, say, making like a very elaborate foot on a bowl shape, a bowl form. There are lots of possibilities. So all I'm doing is I'm throwing off of this. All right. Because this is a fresh wet clay for the knob, what I'm going to do is cover the entire thing, entire piece with plastic, and allow it to stay that way for, say, a day. And then I can let it start drying more quickly. All right. And with this particular pot, this is the body of a teapot, foot's already trimmed. And with this particular type of lid, it's got the flange, and this prevents the lid from sliding off, but also it lowers the center of gravity of the lid so that you're able to tilt the teapot and pour with just one hand. The other hand doesn't need to keep the lid in place. So, and I've, to see how this was thrown, just referred to the jar, video on jars or lid containers. I can either center this pot on the wheel, secure it, and then use this as a trimming chuck and place the lid and then trim it. Or if there's enough space under here, I could just center this directly on the metal wheel head and put wads of clay to secure it and go that route. So you have options. so that fits underneath. So shift it a little. All right. Just want to make sure that it doesn't topple on me. So I'm putting a little bit of clay on against that wide part. No surprises. Okay. Just want to make sure that the lid is sitting flat against the bat. That's why I'm tapping it. So it's like trimming a bowl. The floor I left really thick, so I can carve a knob from the existing clay. So that's the lid on the teapot. And actually, I'm going to go back and do a little bit more trimming. I don't feel that there's enough of a knob for me to grab onto to be able to use it in removing the lid. So, but anyway, you get the gist of the process. And refer to another video on attaching the spout to the body for the teapot.